Yeah, absolutely. So we've got a pretty cool matchup to kick off the stream here today. Vinny Fernandez, I'd say one of the most accomplished online players we've seen in this kind of past year or two of online play. He's going to be on that Jolteon vmax deck with Inteleon, which is really not something we've seen at all in this format. At least not as much as some people maybe expected, but Jolteon vmax definitely one of those new vmaxes from Evolving Skies that's going to have some potential to be a successful deck here. Um, and then his opponent here, we're going to see Tired Musician is their Limitless name. They're going to be on Ice Rider Suicune, also with that Inteleon line. We're seeing this Inteleon line really make its way into being the backbone of all these VMAX decks in this new format, which I think is pretty exciting. But definitely Ice Rider Suicune, much more established archetype than the Jolteon, having just won the 2021 POG championships not too long ago. So should be really interesting to see how Vinny's going to be able to pilot his way through this matchup with kind of an unfamiliar deck.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely have faith in Vinny. He's very young, but he's been one of the absolute madmen of the online era of the Pokemon TCG online past year and a half. And I actually really love Jolteon VMAX, so I'm excited to play it. I'm always a fan of the decks that can like spread some damage around, build themselves, and rinse and do some non-linear things. So we'll have to see if Jolteon VMAX can down Ice Rider Suicune, which is a very established archetype. Like,
Yeah, we're gonna see. Actually, that Zigzagoon starting off in Vinny's hand is gonna be a cool card to look out for. I believe, just the one copy on his list, but that's in there just to fix some math. With all that snipe damage from the Jolteon, the Inteleon pings, and pretty decent hand. Well, he has a Sobble and a Drizzile for next turn, but no energy attachment for this first turn here for Vinny, which is a little unfortunate.
yeah, for sure. Well, he does have the Elemental badge, right? Since he is playing Jolteon VMAX.
Yeah.
So he has 2 Elemental badge in his deck. So even if he whiffs an energy attachment for a turn, the Elemental badge should be able to get him there as long as he can fetch that out. Looking to see if Tired Musician is playing any tool removal. They are playing 1 tool Scrapper, so possibly being able to take care of one of Vinny's 2 Elemental badges as long as Vinny staggers them out.
Yeah, this would be interesting to see for sure. This Drizzile here on Vinny's next turn, you have to assume is just going to have to go for a supporter, and Vinny's going to have to try to draw into some sort of combo to be able to attack here. Whereas Tired Musician, Ice Rider is going to come right up to the plate here, and if we see a VMAX this turn, uh, or sorry, on the next turn here, this first turn of the game.
Right, yeah.
Um,
But
but
having 2 energy
we
down makes you think it's turn 2, right?
right. Well, we're gonna see the Melanie here.
Oh no,
So
wait.
actually,
I think Tired Musician went first, Tate?
oh yeah, I think we just missed it. Yeah. So we are gonna see the VMAX here. I was gonna say that would make a lot more sense why we're seeing the V come into the active spot here. It doesn't seem like a reason to do that on the first turn, but yeah, we are gonna see the VMAX here. So gonna be assuming Max Lance is the option here. Just a quick 2 prizes right off the bat.
Yeah, that's going to be potentially big for the Ice Rider player here. Of course, now that is only a 2 prize knockout, and a lot of times the knockouts we're looking for in these standard format games are 3 prizers. So Vinny is going to have his Drizzile down. He'll be able to evolve Jolteon VMAX this turn, and the prize routing for Tired Musician may now become knockout 1 Jolteon and knockout 1 Drizzile. And I'm interested to see if Tired Musician goes for softening up the Jolteon first, if Vinny will be able to hit that crucial Cheryl and reattach turn that will probably be his way back into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Vinny just opting to use that Zigzagoon now before throwing down this Marnie. Really nice top deck there for him to draw into that energy card that he was actually able to Drizzile for the elemental badge directly. Um, and he's going to be able to attack here. So that was the thing we were kind of worried about was, is Vinny going to be able to find the cards to actually respond with an attack here? But his list is really consistent, just looking at it. Pretty likely that he was going to be able to get there.
Yeah, I think the thing you have to do with these rogue kind of archetypes, especially when they're just getting started out and there's not a lot of people testing them, is just play the bare bones things that you need for the deck and then make the rest of it just consistency. Because, you know, it's just Jolteon VMAX, the Inteleon, and then not really much else going on.
Yeah, for sure. I seem to have lost our Discord. Okay, now we're back. There we go. That was scary for a minute. Um, yeah, so this phase of the game now is just going to be about Vinny needs to kind of stabilize after Tired Musician was able to take the first KO there, and Vinny's going to have to set up um a second Jolteon probably, so he's able to cycle through his attackers, and then just has to worry about something like a boss's orders play from Tired Musician being able to finish off the game on maybe that Zigzagoon or one of these Inteleon. Um, so the prize mapping here is going to be pretty straightforward, but might come down to something like a late game Marnie to see if Vinny's able to kind of disrupt things.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't been able to see if Vinny does have the Cheryl in deck, which I was mentioning when he searched.
Yeah, he does. I saw it.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Yeah, so that's something that could also be big. That's a great point. Being able to Cheryl, remove damage, and then the elemental badge is going to allow for an attack the same turn, if I'm not mistaken. So, huge card in this Jolteon deck for Vinny. But we are going to see probably a Ride of the High King here from Calyrex. I don't think Max Lance would be the option here to attack, but we will see what Tired Musician opts to choose for their attack on this turn. Definitely need to put some sort of damage onto this Jolteon VMAX. Just set up for a 2-shot on that, and then just look for your last prize elsewhere on one of these single prizers. Yeah, just the Ride of the High King for 130 here.
Yeah, you have to imagine that Tired Musician's not going to use Max Lance and discard 2 energy when you assume that Calyrex, you know, there's no way it can go down. Jolteon is doing a measly 100 damage to the active. Now,
Right.
over a few more turns, that measly 100 damage will be done multiple times, and that will be Vinny's win condition. But right now, 100 damage is not going to affect the Ice Rider, and so they're going to leave that 2 energy on there to hold it over till next turn.
Yeah, I like this from Vinny, just setting up damage over towards that benched Crobat. This is what we talked about with that prize mapping. So Vinny has taken 1 prize already, and his easiest route to the remaining 5 is going to be to go through this active VMAX and then to also put a bunch of snipe damage onto that benched Crobat. So Vinny's just started stacking up that damage there with the Zigzagoon, presumably just going to go for a snipe over towards the Crobat here with Jolteon on this turn. And be in a really nice position to actually close this game out on the next turn with just a couple more pieces.
Yeah, for sure. So Vinny already having taken the 1 prize is huge, like you're saying. That's like,
Right.
if Vinny had not already taken 1 prize, if he missed that Zigzagoon turn 1 or prized that Zigzagoon, then he wouldn't have taken the Sobble knockout, and then he wouldn't have a potential win condition here because Tired Musician can knock out that Jolteon this turn, and now on the following turn, all Vinny's going to have to do, like you said, is just be able to go 100 active and 100 on the benched Crobat. So that benched Crobat could be the thing that loses Tired Musician the game.
Right. Yeah, it'd be interesting. I wasn't paying too much attention when the Crobat hit the bench, but I think that
Yeah.
was a scenario of kind of having to play the Crobat, went down to a 0-card hand, but
Yeah,
it'll
I'm
be interesting to
wondering
go
if it
back and
was
see.
necessary or if it was a greedy play.
Right. Yeah, I'd be really interested to go back and watch the VOD on that because oftentimes against these sort of snipe decks, I mean, we've seen this for years with spread damage decks and sniping decks. You have to be really careful about how you play those big support Pokemon down onto your bench. Way back with Flying Flip, Tapu Koko decks a few years ago, all the way up to stuff like Catterday in the past couple formats. So you always want to be careful about playing down stuff like Crobat or Dedenne. But we are going to see the Marnie here. This is actually huge because Vinny did have the game-winning combo in that previous hand with the Incense and the Energy Search to find an energy and a VMAX.
Right.
No longer has access to that, and does have level ball for Drizzile here, plus a Marnie of his own. So that's going to be able to. He's definitely going to be able to dig for game here.
Yeah, Vinny
And there's a
plays
solid
4
chance he hits
evolution
it, but
incense. So
yeah.
he's fine. So he can level ball for Drizzile, Drizzile for evolution incense,
Oh,
and
he
then
has the he has the Inteleon.
and then get the
To,
Inteleon and Inteleon
right.
for evolution incense badge, and that's the game.
Yeah, so Vinny should. I mean, there's no way that he doesn't see it. I'm sure Vinny's
Yeah,
got the pieces
absolutely.
here.
Yeah, this is
Put this
that
game
kind of
together.
deck that we're saying, you know, it does this very minute thing. It's just, oh, Jolteon's doing 100 damage and 100 damage, and then we have other things that are
Yeah.
just blowing everything up. But you know, you have this engine in the deck where it's like, okay, I'll get this to get this, and I'll get this to get this, and then I'll get this to get this, and then we win the game. And that's what Vinny's checking here, making sure he has the Jolteon. I don't see the other badge, so he'll probably have to energy search instead of getting a badge, I think.
Yes, I think so as well, but not a problem how you get there. He's gonna get there one way or the other. That Ode is this the the Sword and Shield and Inteleon is in the deck. He just grabbed it, right? So
He grabbed, wait, did he? Or did he grab Drizzile?
he might. Maybe. Let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, he level balled for
Well,
Drizzile. He's thinning out the
taken-
deck
okay.
now to thin for research.
So he's actually gonna research.
Right,
Yeah.
the
So I
shady
think
dealings
he-
is in the discard.
Oh, right. That's why. Yeah. So I was operating under the premise he still had that available to him, but he is
Yeah.
gonna have to just dig here with the research, and just now it's a matter, as you said, Luke, of thinning out cards that you don't need and making sure that you hit. I mean, that's a 2-card combo. He needs a VMAX and he needs an energy, and so he needs to maximize the odds of hitting those 2 cards.
Yeah,
And
so
Drizzile for one of those pieces here, right? So E-Search or Incense here.
yeah, and if I'm Vinny, I think I go for the E-Search. What do you think
Yeah.
you go for?
No, I agree as well. I think
Okay.
yeah, because look at the amount of energy here. Well, so
It's
4
almost
Incense in the
even.
deck. It is almost even, yeah. But Vinny just opting to go with the energy search here. I don't think the probabilities are gonna matter too much. There's a really solid chance that he just researches into Incense or VMAX here. Just
Yeah.
needs to hit one of those 2 cards in a 25 card deck. So this
So
is
let's
a
see.
big research here. This is for the game, and,
And
there's
there's the
Incense that should
Incense.
do it. Yep.
Beautiful.
Can even go for an extra Inteleon ping just for the insurance if he wants, but don't think we're gonna
Beautiful
see
here from Vinny Fernandez. Kind of a very quick-paced game, in my opinion. I don't know if it felt fast or if it was going fast, but there was almost no turns off of action there with Ice Rider versus Jolteon. And the underdog, I would say, Jolteon VMAX is the one taking out the win here.
Yeah, the difference maker for me in that game was the well, obviously the early kill on towards the Sobble, but also just the fact that Tired Musician either was forced to or just was a little greedy and benched that Crobat. That enabled Vinny to just set up a beautiful 5-prize turn there, which would not have been an option to him if that 2-prizer hadn't been on the bench. So really nicely played by Vinny to identify that route to win it in a really quick fashion, as you mentioned. But
Yeah, for
definitely
sure.
gonna be interesting. Definitely gonna be interesting to see how Vinny fares through it the rest of this tournament, as players maybe aren't so willing to put those 2-prizers on the bench and give him those easy prizes.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see Vinny moving on to a nice 1-0 start here at Celio Stats 2. And round 2 will be coming shortly with Boo and Tate casting that. We'll see you back here for all the action.